What's up, Rafael Cortez again on the Wholesaling Business Blueprint. Let's talk about the new offer thresholds, okay? So the times of you offering 70% minus repairs, minus your fee, when you're trying to lock up a deal, when you're going on an acquisitions appointment and talking to a seller, those are long gone. None of that stuff is working anymore. It's just outdated. The reality is that the market doesn't allow for that kind of stuff to happen anymore, right? So what do? How do you adjust your price points? What's the right way of doing it inside your market? Well, I'm gonna walk you over on how we are shifting and we're actually pivoting our offer thresholds. We find that we have to come in and offer a lot more than what we used to because the level of competition is higher, okay? So a seller is not just gonna have your offer on the table, they're gonna have your offer along with another 10, 12 offers. So you have to take that into account. If you offer way too low, your offer is gonna be gone. They're not gonna look at it, they're not gonna take it seriously, you're not gonna be able to solve a problem for that seller, and then you're not gonna have a deal, all right? So this is how we break it down, this is how we're adjusting, and this is hopefully a temporary adjustment just given the fact that the market is crazy. The way that it sits right now, inventory is really, really low, meaning the amount of properties that are available out there for investors, the number of those properties is really low, all right? There's not enough inventory and there's high demand. People have cash, ironically, there's a lot of money right now out there on investor funds that can come in and buy properties. There's just no properties. So they are willing to pay a little bit more than what they normally would. So we're leveraging that, right? So we're leveraging that, and then we're using that to come in and then make a stronger offer for the seller to get a deal under contract. These are the numbers that we are currently working on my company, right? So the new offer thresholds. We are offering, of course, we try to anchor low, we try to negotiate the deal, we try to do everything, standard per wholesale practices, right, per se. But when that doesn't work, you do the lower anchor and then you go to a higher number. Our maximum allowable offer, if the area calls for it, if the price point calls for it, we're offering up to 85% of retail, which is, it's pretty much retail minus fees, right? But what happens is that when you lock something up at 85% of retail, you have a commitment from the seller. The point here is not to come back and try to renegotiate the price point. The point is to get that property in the contract and then get the numbers pushed up a little bit higher by your end buyer, right? End buyers are offering more than they used to. So whenever they were paying 80% for a property, now they're willing to pay 89% because there's no inventory again. A lot of these properties are going to be buy and hold. You're going to structure creative financing deals. The point is that we're offering up to 85% of whatever the property's worth to make the deal work for the seller, right? At this point, they're pretty much selling retail minus fees. We can still come in and then add a wholesale fee to it, either that or take it down and then do a wholesale with the property. But our numbers are going all the way up to 85%, believe it or not. And with these numbers, with that percentage in place, we are still breaking deals that are bringing $15,000, $19,000, $20,000 assignment fees, okay? So the key to that is to do 85% on the price point that sells the most. So find out what the hot price point in your market is. For example, Maricopa County has a hot price point of $250,000 to $350,000. It's selling like hot bread right now. There's nothing. You can't put a property in the market and it's not gonna sit there for two days. People are gonna be getting offers on those. The offers that are coming in, they're coming well above retail price points. So that's also one of the things that investors are looking at, right? They come in, they know they can sell a little higher. They're gonna be, right now, they're just willing to pay a little bit more for the property. So we leverage that into the offer price. And really the seller is walking away with those profits, not necessarily us as the wholesalers, building that big old spread into it, but we're still getting, those healthy $15,000, $20,000 spreads into the deals. All right, so for the hot price points, $250,000 to $350,000, we're offering up to 85%. Now, as the price points get higher and your buyer pools get a little bit tighter, we start dropping the percentage. So for $350,000 to $500,000, which is kind of getting over to the luxury listings, type of properties, the rehabs may be a little bit more expensive and whatnot. Your buyer pool is going to be smaller. we're offering, our max is still 82%, all right? So our maximum allowable offer is 82%. And of course, we take into consideration repair expenses when we're factoring in the percentages, right? But we'll go up to 82%, minus repairs on the 350 to 500. Your spread as a wholesaler is gonna be built into that cushion, because you're gonna come back and then try to sell the property at the higher price points of the stuff that's listed, which based off of the market activity, it's gonna be a lot higher than what's already sold. All right, there's a gap on there. Use that gap. You can leverage that gap between sold comps and listed comps with your investor buyers, all right, to get that price a little higher and still make your profit. Now, on properties that are above 500,000, we're maxing out at 80%, all right, which is, I mean, it's not too uncommon for a wholesale deal, right? But as the property values go higher, our percentages start dropping because the buyer pool is going to be a little lighter. The investment into the property is going to take a lot more money. So you're not going to have as many people as interested on a property that's worth $500,000, $700,000 as you would in a property that's worth $250,000, right? It's just the nature of the business. And the big takeaway of all this is, if you're offering 70% minus repairs, minus fees, you're gonna be leaving a lot of deals on the table. You're not gonna be closing the deals that you're supposed to be closing just simply because the numbers do not work. This is not a regular market. We're not in a normal market right now. So structure your negotiation around the fact that supply and demand, it's really dictating the value of properties right now, and approach your sellers with that mindset, all right? So think about supply and demand. Go higher on the numbers if you need to. You're still gonna be able to build a profit. Why? Because the investor buyer is willing to pay more than they normally would right now. So leverage that, pass it on to your sellers because that's what they're looking for. Solve that problem, give them that solid offer that they're looking for, and put a little bit more work on the dispo side. You're gonna be able to move that property and still make your profit, all right? Stay focused, you got this.